Welcome back to another episode of Flex, Rocks, and Rollovers. Today we are in Williams, Arizona at the KC Highlights World Headquarters. We're gonna go inside here now, get a little behind the scenes tour, learn about how KC Highlights are actually being built, and also some of this crazy company's history. What's up, my man?
What's up, brother?
Great to see you.
So welcome, you guys. So I'm excited that you guys are here.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for letting us.
Absolutely. This is like, it's our home. We've been here for over 40 years in this building. This is, I kind of like call it history hallway. I mean, we do have some fishing rods and stuff because we have a lake right across the street. So if anybody wants to go fishing, it's like...
That's a nice lunch break.
Yeah. So if you would have walked down here a few years ago, this whole hallway would have been lined up with these, which are catalog covers. This was the very first one that we ever did, which was back in 1974.
That's so awesome.
That was from when we were in Pete's garage in Saugus, California. I just love the whole styling of it, right?
I love the whole, like, I don't know, is the artist still alive that does all that stuff? I mean, this is so iconic, man. I remember all that.
This was a Dave Deal.
That's so cool.
Dave Big Deal. Yeah, Big Deal. That was who did this artwork. This was our very first one in Williams. That was in 75 when we were kind of in an old shop on Route 66 before we moved into this building. So
this is pretty close. We took Route 66 actually to get here. So
I love kind of seeing those because it shows like the evolution of where we're at as literally as a country. And like as technology's progressed, you can see when we got into like the .com era when the internet became a thing.
Okay.
And then like right after 9/11, right? When like Americana and like Unity was a big thing, and like now we're into this era of like more experiential like trips and adventures, all that. So
that looks like a camel trophy almost.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's sick.
So
this right here is awesome because we got to drive this beauty at KOH.
Yeah.
The King of the Hammers videos from 2021. We were driving this Gladiator all over Johnson Valley.
Yeah.
So.
The one right behind you, that's our Wagoneer, right?
That thing is a beauty. We almost got him to commit to driving it. Almost.
That was built based on inspiration from your vehicle.
Yeah.
So that's, kind of where that came from. As we look around, there's like history, there's stuff everywhere throughout
Baja
this building.
71. I mean, how cool is that?
That's when it was called the Mexican 1000. Before it was called the Baja 1000.
Oh,
right?
I didn't know
so
that.
If you look at this, Parnelli Jones, Mickey Thompson, Rod Hall, some of the biggest names in like history.
Yeah, I had the pleasure to meet Rod Hall before he passed away. Like on one of at the KO2 launch. I don't know, 6 years ago or something. We were down in Baja. My first trip to Baja. I spent a week with that gentleman. It was a pleasure to meet that guy.
Yeah, Shreddy. Yep.
Yep. You know that guy, don't you?
Yeah, I think it says HP tuners in large letters and stuff.
It does on that one.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that was in the early days.
That's a sick. That's
a great
sick
guy.
picture. Yeah, super cool guy.
There's not much in here other than some cool old stuff.
Some royal chairs, I see.
Yes, these were all handmade Mexican furniture. This is the stuff that Pete, our founder, Peter Kim Brown, wanted to put in this place originally.
Let me back up really quick. So, what was the name of the founder of KC Highlights?
Pete Brown.
So, what does KC then stand for?
So, at the time, he went by Kim, which was his middle name.
Okay.
So, as Kim became a feminine name, he started going by Pete again.
Okay.
And his wife Carol. So Kim and Carol Brown. This is kind of our internal thing. We have this set of stuff that we kind of live by internally for our business of like how we operate and what our culture stands for, right? The other symbols that we like to show off are some of the old school lights, the old school packaging, some of the old SEMA awards, things like that. But it's cool to see kind of the evolution of what our product looked like through the years. And dude, look at that packaging. Like,
dude, those stripes are just super cool.
The Gladiator that you drove around, our company one, it's wrapped like that as an homage, which was our 50th anniversary, to our throwback color scheme.
That's awesome.
Right? So that's where that wrap came from.
That's super cool.
Now this is where all the magic happens.
Who the best in this thing? Tell them, yeah, that's me. Tell them who when the fire say, yeah, that's me. Who make it flip, make it bang, ooh, yeah, that's me.
Man, those are freaking stadium lights here.
Yeah.
That's basically what trophy trucks run on their roofs, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll get into some of that over here too. So.
All right.
This is the start of our production area now. Key's kind of working in doing some wiring and things like that. Kind of a really cool spot because this is where a lot of our big carbon pod HIDs are built. So Key, that's one of the big things that you work on, right?
Yes, Cindy. We both do the carbon pods. This is Wayland. This is for the airplane.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
All handmade.
Yeah.
That's
this is-
incredible. I wouldn't have
It's really cool.
really wouldn't have thought that. That's crazy. Wow.
So one of the cool stories is we started off as a company. Pete started this company by taking an aircraft landing light, right? Creating a housing for that and a mounting solution for that to put it on an off-road race vehicle. Now, almost 2 years later, we are private labeling lights for aircraft companies, which are aircraft landing lights. So it's like kind of come full circle, which is pretty cool.
That's really cool.
experience.
I get anxiety when I see wires. I couldn't do this.
That figure.
You can see in the background, we used to have lights, big 6x9 HID lights in some of the military vehicles back in Afghanistan. You can see the custom covers that we'd made for those vehicles and the lights on the vehicles back then.
That's crazy. I didn't know you guys were like provided military lights too. Are you still doing that?
Not anymore. We like to have the homage to some of the history stuff around here. This is kind of the Pro 6 assembly section.
That is so cool. Like to see that. Like that's what we're running on all of our rigs. Pro 6s up and down. And
They just really light up the night. It's crazy.
yeah,
They do.
this is where the magic happens, Andrew.
The light becomes day.
Yeah.
Between this and the FE4s, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
insane
No
how
kidding.
bright it is. You know.
Absolutely.
Super cool. So you got your little template here. You lay your lights out. Yeah.
Yep, this is our jig. It fits up to a 9 light. We build anything from a 3 light bar up to a 9 light bar. So this
Super
one is
cool.
just the universal 8. One wide on each end, and then the rest are the spot lenses.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if
So I didn't know that. So the outer lights on the light bars on the Pro 6s are actually different than the ones in the center.
Yep. And so it depends on what the bar is for, right? Like if you have a vehicle specific bar like a Razor, a Player's Razor, or something along those lines, it's going to have a different assembly than like a Jeep Wrangler, both in terms of length of the light bar, but also in terms of the beam configuration, right? Because if you're in a Player's Razor, you probably want a little bit more high speed, so a little bit more spot beam oriented product, whereas a Wrangler is probably not going as fast. So we tune
The lights are actually getting tuned based on the applications they go on, dude.
That's crazy.
I had no idea.
No, me either, dude.
Yeah.
A recent off-road trip that we've done, I was debating of taking the light bar off or shortening it in case I lean my windshield into the rocks to not rip off the whole light bar. So then taking out the outer lights would actually not be a good idea. Which
Probably a center.
like if I would ever wanted to shorten it for certain adventures that we go on, you would recommend to take out the center lights.
That's what I would do, yeah. 'Cause then
Okay.
you're going to lose
I had no idea. I would have literally just taken out the outer ones.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a lot of different
Yeah,
ways to go about
absolutely.
it. Yeah. So that's this whole section. This is kind of the Pro 6 section. So
Cool.
this is where we're cranking out bars every day, so everyone gets tested and turned on and make sure everything's functional and has the right color temperature to it and all that kind of
Right.
stuff before it goes out the doors.
The cool thing about the KC headlights for me, they maintain an old school classic look but still have the modern power behind it. So that was really important when I built my Jeepster. I didn't want any, I call them Star Wars lights, like something that just looks like a spaceship light on a classic vehicle, you know, and KC Highlights is the perfect solution for that.
Right.
So
And that's what's really nice about the products that are vehicle specific, right? So when you have like that 7-inch round that works on so many vehicles, it's easy to install. But
Yeah.
we try pretty hard to work on other stuff that is not vehicle specific too. Like when you have stuff like you don't know where to mount it, but you have a roll cage. Of
course.
Like, okay, cool, here's our tube clamps for the roll cage. Awesome. So we try with stuff like that to do as much as we can. These are actually made here in Arizona. All the injection molding and stuff, they're down at our sister company in Prescott.
and to tell them about the trend we were kind of setting on KC Highlights for those that can't run a regular standard, you know, headlight, KC headlight.
So, in my previous vehicle, my Jeep that you've seen before, it was just a fiberglass front clip.
Yep.
You know, and
No
everything
space
else-
behind it. Like,
No
nothing.
space behind
Yeah.
it. So, it actually had an original set of daylighters behind it.
That's pretty cool.
And we updated it
Yeah.
with the Pro 6s. Man, it was output was awesome. It's really cool. And you know, your dad's done that. We've had a couple of friends, a friend with an Ultra 4 car. We've had quite a few people that have actually said, "Hey, yeah, you know, we saw what you did, and we followed suit." So
I love
it's
that.
kind of
Yeah.
a cool trend, you know.
Well, and there's so many different opportunities too, and like, what's cool about the daylighter, right? That's
Yeah.
the classic thing that everybody thinks of, the
Of
smiling
course, of
face,
course.
right? What we knew that's like our bread and butter product, so we took the same optic that would go in a Pro 6 light, the
Okay.
same optic,
Okay.
and made a retrofit kit, so you could upgrade the daylighters
I didn't know that. That's
to
awesome.
be LED. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and I also like that you made the covers for the Pro 6 with the daylighters. Those
Yeah.
are rad. Yeah,
That
those
was
are good.
That was for the 50th anniversary.
that was
like,
sharp.
We got to do something special. Back there, we have the warehouse. It's pretty much just raw parts and raw storage, but
Okay.
there's a couple cool pieces to show you.
Awesome.
So, starting with that, Wow. That's my favorite piece of art in this whole building.
That is freaking sick. I
It's
love
like, it's weird to think of an off-road company with like 50 years of legacy as having artwork in the building.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, how could you, like, look how vintage that is. It's just stuff like that's why I like being here. There's just one kind of final area, which is the finished packaged goods, stuff that's ready to ship out the door, and then get into the shipping department, and that's pretty much it for the whole business. This is our home. This is everything. This is our little warranty return section, which
it's not very big. That's a very good thing.
It's a small area. So it's like,
if the warranty section is bigger than the shipping department, you know what's
got
up.
problems, right? Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
if that's all you get, then I think you're on a good track with your products,
We're
man.
doing all right. So, so this is everything. So now this is all stuff ready to go out the door, whether it's the Apollos, literally for AutoZone, like the ones that say AutoZone on the side, or just
They're nationwide, available at any AutoZone.
Yeah, 15 Pro 6 bars sitting there already to
Yeah.
go out the door, plus everything that's here ready
Oh
to
my
go
God,
today.
that will all go out today.
Yeah, most of it. There's another 20 bars sitting here.
Oh, that is rad.
That's Philip, who was over there working on the headlights. It's like just random stuff like that. It's like we're all a big family, so we don't, it's just like
How many people work here?
here 21.
21.
Yeah.
And
So-
but you also have people in LA and in
Yep.
San Diego,
In
or
Gardena, yeah, over in
Gardena?
California. So roughly globally, because we do have a couple people overseas too, we're at, I want to say like 48 people. It's great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What country do you sell most to, except for
Here.
the United States? I'd say.
Man, that's a tough one. It used to be Canada,
Okay.
but I think it's shifted to Mexico.
Oh, wow.
is
I
I
the
was gonna
next
say
highest.
Mexico for sure, right?
It's like the
Yeah.
big Baja crowd, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
So I think that's.
You made a
the
name
second
in that
biggest.
race. You know, that's
Exactly.
that's
Right.
your birthplace,
If
so
you
to
go,
say.
if
You
you go
know.
anywhere, like that was a seat cushion. So the old school buggies.
Hold on, I gotta pull this off now.
I want to say,
have
like, my girlfriend would like this as a purse.
That's awesome. You think you're a hardcore crawler? That's what those guys used to use for seats.
Oh boy.
Like, that's wild.
I want to point this out really quick because I don't think a lot of people know how customizable your lights have
yeah.
become over the last few years, honestly. Like the Era 3, the Era 4s,
Yeah.
you can you may see them on the website with like a gold circle around it. How do you call them? Like a frame?
Bezel,
But you can actually change them out into any color you want. Plus the new Cyclone lights, which we use as rock lights and interior lights. The version 2 that came out, a few months ago?
Yeah, maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah, those you can now, you don't have to buy it in whatever color anymore. You buy one color and then they just have different plastic clips that go on top that change the color of the whole light.
You
So
can swap the whole lens out now, which is really cool. So we've really tried, like you said, we've tried really hard, as Andrew's looking at, to make everything as customizable as we can.
everybody wants to color match nowadays.
Right,
So.
right,
Where it's
exactly.
modular,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
So my dad is running the new Era 4s as headlights, and like his whole theme is gray and blue. So he has the blue bezel all around
There
it.
you go.
You know,
There's the blue bezels sitting right
there.
there ready for him.
also a lot of people, wonder how we got amber lights. The snap-on covers. It's like so
Yeah,
simple.
you make that for the Pro
Pop
6,
over.
Era
Yeah.
3, Era 4, pretty much
Pretty
anything,
much
right?
everything. I think our new internal motto, honestly, is going to be like, if we come out with a new light, forward-facing light,
Yep.
it's going to have an amber option.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Most likely a snap-on
Dude,
cover. So,
tell people really quick what the benefits are to put an amber cover on your light.
yeah, so it's really what it's meant for is any environment that you have particles in the air. So dust, snow, fog, rain, anything like that, that lower wavelength doesn't reflect back into your eyes as much. So because of that, it seems like the light's cutting through the dust or whatever better.
Yeah.
But really it's just helping like not reflect back in your eyes as much. So
Even for us, like, in Tennessee, when we go out and we're like, I have my Pro 6 on and I pull up on an obstacle. If I have just the regular bright light, no cover on it at all, it's almost like it reflects back from the rock and blinds you. Like, and you put the amber covers on, you see all the contrast of the obstacle. You see every little crack in the rock and everything. Like,
So-
it doesn't reflect back.
right,
So-
which most people don't really understand is like they want the most brightest lights that they can get ever, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, sometimes there is a thing as too much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If it's too bright, you can't see anything. You can't see the shadows in the road
Yeah.
to know where the whoops are, to know where the potholes are.
Yeah.
So if you're oversaturating the environment with your light setup, well then now you're not seeing any better than you were without as much light.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So there's a fine line, and most people don't realize that.
So by the way, this guy's I designed years and years ago. This was
That's pretty cool.
Louisville. That was
Yeah.
not Texas. That was
Yeah.
Louisville. River Raid Party. So you designed the whole thing? I mean, I was co-founder, co-owner, and marketing director of this show, so I was in charge of doing all this
That's
kind of
pretty
stuff.
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was my career before Flex, Rocks, and
seriously?
Rollovers. So,
Time flies by, right?
yep, 6 years of unlimited off-road show and expo. If you guys are ever coming through Williams, Arizona, these guys always have an open door for you if you want to come in, check things out, have a coffee with them,
Hot
get some
chocolate,
merchandise, get, you
anything,
know,
yeah.
whatever.
Exactly.
Definitely stop by.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave us a comment as always, and I see you guys next week.
Die young. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home.